consensus on it. So we're going to start our question period now. There'll be 7 minutes of questions. We're going to start with Ms. Sidhu, and I understand you're going to split your time with Mr. Oliver.
Yes, thank you, Chair. First, I want to thank you for coming together to put forward this bill. We heard some very powerful testimony at the last meeting on this topic. I wanted to highlight the role of caregiver, particularly the wait time for getting PSW and support workers. I met with the Canadian Nurses Association the other day, and we discussed this matter. Can you talk about how you view the role of support worker and family members who take time off to support their ailing parents or dependent within this bill and future strategy?
Well, let me start off. I'm supportive of any measures that change the Income Tax Act, quite frankly, in terms of giving credit to people who take time off to look after, and there have been steps in that direction, and I'd certainly welcome anything further, because these things do take a great toll on families, and that's one of the things that has impressed me. In fact, one of the witnesses that you had here, I believe yesterday, Tanya Levesque, and talking about how much time she has had to devote and spend time. What happens is it becomes, quite frankly, a full-time job for the people who are the spouses of these individuals who are suffering from this. I mean, they need care all the time. And, I set out in my opening remarks the amount of time that it takes healthcare workers when people end up in these facilities. I'm hoping, and it's a sincere hope, that someday we will solve this. We will get a cure for Alzheimer's, that we can do this, but it's not going to be done unless there is coordinated research into this. And I'm hoping that one of the things that something bill like this would help that interchange, that exchange of information. My colleague, Mr. Oliphant, said about the model that they have instituted in his area of Toronto with respect to the treatment of people. This is exactly the kind of information we want to share, and I believe that bringing together a council and advisory council as set out in this bill would be a step in that direction. So thank you.
And I just might add that advisory council could look at other issues. I mean, much of what you say is really within provincial jurisdiction and the delivery of health care. This body, however, could look at things which are in the federal realm to ease that burden on families and caregivers. I should mention that you're at Angus Homes. The monthly charge for someone living in that home on Merton Street is in the $2,000 range. I think it's about $2,400 a month right now, over between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. At Cedarhurst, it's $7,000 a month. They're both not-for-profits, but because we have no subsidy, provincial subsidy for the one home we have for the other, that's how much it costs. And so we have to look at ways that we find support. So people will be living at home. They need home care. They need all those things which every disease group needs. This is a way to draw attention to those needs, I think, in a profound way, which will have spillover effects into other diseases as well.
You're done?